Ooh, hello everybody. Yes, it's very cold, but at least it's starting to warm up by Monday. 40 degrees. Woohoo! Heat wave. So that'll be nice.
I know.
Hello
Hi,
everybody.
everyone.
It is another Friday, another week has just flown by, and can we believe we're almost at the end of February already? Oh, good Lord. Time is going by. And first here up in chat was earlier 546. Boy, Magus. Thank you for being here and dropping by and saying that we love you too, my
Ooh.
friend. And so we have Inner Knowing, and they said, yay, they're sending our notifications out again. So good to know that you got our notification. Inner Knowing. I think you're new to my channel, so welcome.
I'm going to grab a throw for my
Okay.
lap. I'll be right back.
Alrighty. And we also have the lovely Miss Nancy. Here, let me click on here. And we have the very lovely, sexy Lexi, Miss Miller today. And Alexis, I haven't had a chance to finish watching your video, but I absolutely loved what you discussed today. And when Allison gets back, we'll bring that into the loop. That was beautiful. I got to watch, I think, the first 5 or 10 minutes of your video, and I'm definitely going to mention that and send everybody over to see that video if they have time. So Eternal Light is here. Hello and welcome. And let's see, who else do we have? Everyone saying hello. Oh, and Megas is here saying hello to Nancy. So, yes, time
Hi,
is
everybody.
flying by. Isadora, oh my goodness, Isadora is here. Lori is here. Um, Tom, or like ritual. Oh, another thing too. I've got a bunch of stuff to share with everybody. Usually it's like Allison that has the most exciting week, and I'm just kind of like, yeah, well, boy, I got a lot of fun stuff to share tonight. So,
Nice.
all righty, Heather, you were muted but fine now. Oh, okay. Well, if anybody hears an echo, it's because if you can see, look at bare walls, empty room. We're moving stuff out. Donations are going out. So if there is an echo, that's because there's not much left in this room to really, muffle sound. So if there's an echo, that's just my natural sound in my room now. Um, so yes, got some more stuff done this week. And oh boy, who wants to go first? Because you had some pretty cool stuff with some cat balls. Did you want me to go first, Elsa, or do you want to share your week with everybody first?
No, go right ahead.
Go right ahead. Okay. But what Allison's going to share is cool. So stare on everybody. You'll want to hear this. So everybody knows I've been having issues. Well, most people in chat know about the heat. We were without a heat on and off Monday night, everything just back and forth. So, in a nutshell, they finally got somebody who knows what they're doing. And they were here this morning after all week, and they installed a new valve box in our floorboard. And so we now will have heat without issue for the rest of the time that we are here. So yay, because it's not fun when it's like 5 degrees or below zero outside and you wake up in the middle of the night and you have no heat. Um, and then let's see what else. So today was the exciting day. Well, of course, dropping off donations this week, and artwork that the neck is going to store for me. So I'm still doing that, making little trips here and there just because I just can't do it all at once. And so that's on its way. Um, we had a lot of running around to do today. And this was okay. So I'm almost home. We're at an intersection. And we have lane turning to go left, middle lane, and then the next lane to keep going down the road. Well, people are in such a hurry these days that this one individual next to me didn't want to wait for the truck to fully get into the turning lane. And they decided they're going to try to bypass him and didn't pay attention to little old Heather next door and her in her car. And I had Shanna with me. And even like doing the playback, I mean, things happen so fast. Thank God somebody just caught my attention. I saw it. I was able to swerve a bit, move my steering wheel a certain way, brake a little bit so that I wouldn't go in and cause an accident on the people that were on the other side of me or coming around. Had to honk my horn. This person wasn't even paying attention, and oh, thank goodness they kept going because if I had gone alongside them anyway, so that was close, and I knew that as I was driving, because we had to go to the post office, which was what 1, 2, 3 blocks down from there, that my dad had to been there because my dad was an excellent driver. Whenever I go out and I drive, I'm always asking not only St. Michael to protect me, but my dad, to look after me. And so I was telling Allison this backstage. So we pull into the post office. Shan goes in to get his money orders for a rent. And I'm sitting there going, I know, I'm sitting there going, God, I know it was Dad. Thank you, Dad, for protecting me. Now, at that time, a truck goes by, like a regular truck, like a Ford truck or something. And my dad was a Ford man too. So, but this truck goes by and there's this business, you know, vinyl on the vehicle. And it said, Henry's something, Henry's construction or Henry something. And I looked and I went, oh my God, that was my dad's name. My dad's name was Henry. And so from me avoiding that accident, able to spare from me getting hit and me causing anybody else harm while driving because of this individual, my dad getting in there and then stopping me thinking about my dad saying, I know this had to be my dad. And then a truck moments later going by with my dad's name on it, a business truck, you know, it just blew my mind. So thank you, Dad. So that was awesome. We get home eventually. We stop to get a pizza. So Shan's in the bathroom. I'm rushing around trying to empty the bags out, trying to get the food out so it doesn't get cold. And Heather, trips on her own feet, and I go flying into my couch. I'm a little sore tonight, and thank God too, I had a glass in my hand, and I almost landed completely on it. It fell. It hit the side of the table. Did not break. Thank God. Um, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? So, yeah, three exciting things this week. Lost the heat on the side, but in the fall. But anyway, I'm okay. I'm sore, but again, protected.
Hi.
And Shan, oh, fur babies around. So we were, settling down, having dinner, and I get this message from Tom,
I'll be right
early
back.
ritual. Oh, I wonder which baby it is. Um, and so Tom got to send me a a snapshot that a friend of his sent. They're having an exhibition of Crowley's. Well, it's not Crowley's paintings; it's Lady Frida's paintings. And Tom remembered how much I loved the high priestess card and the story. I mean, that was the first. I mean, that was connected to the first guy I ever fell in love with. Really, I mean, there's only been two guys I've been fully in love with when I was with him, when I got introduced to the high priestess card. So Tom sent me a picture, and I don't know how well it's going to show up, but they have an exhibition right now of Lady Frida's artwork, the original watercolors on display. And they're even more beautiful than the cards themselves. So Tom got to send me, yeah, it's going to be too glaring, but just absolutely beautiful. It's the high priestess. You really can't see it, but I can't. Tom, did you say this was in Paris? I think that has them. So,
Hi.
somebody's here. Which one is it?
It's Lulu.
Oh, it's my Lulu. I can't see my Lulu.
She, I
No.
never pick her up because she's such a
Okay.
spaz. Yeah, I mean, I could try,
Okay.
but then she would spaz out.
Oh, we
You know,
don't
I've
want my
noticed.
Lulu to spaz.
Let me interrupt and say one thing. Well, you started talking about Lulu. She doesn't usually come out unless we're going outside or it's mealtime or whatever. She just burrows in her blanket all damn day. I mean, that's Lulu's life. Like if we're
Oh,
going for a
sweetie.
walk or she's gonna go potty or she's gonna eat. That's really about it. Um, or she'll lay there in her
Hi,
nest
Kathy.
and watch everybody. She has a doggy bed on this little chair that's like hers. Anyways, or when I go live. And right now I don't know what she wants. Do you want to go outside? Do you want to go outside? All right.
Oh, I saw
So,
her little tail for a
did
second.
you see her? Wait,
Where'd she go?
Where is
With
she?
the Lulu. There's the Lulu.
Lulu,
Oh
come
my
here.
God. Hello, baby.
Right here. Lulu. Did you see her?
Oh, yes, I did.
Here, I'll come.
Oh, hugs and kisses from Auntie Heather. Oh, look at her. Oh.
Come here.
See, I had a Whippet mix. She had been part Chihuahua,
Now
and she
she's walking
reminds
over
me.
there. I don't know what she wants right now. Do you want to go outside? She wants to go outside. All right, I'll be right back.
Okay. Yep, that was how my Lilu was, and her name originally was Lulu when I adopted her. But yeah, I was watching some Whippet videos this morning. I got nostalgic for my Lilu. I dream about her every now and then, and I get to pet her and say hello. But I miss her, and I'm thinking Lilu was a Chihuahua Whippet mix. Yeah, I can imagine what they look like in person. So, Tom, how big are the original pieces? Did your friends say? Let's see. You have a bunch of RWS stuff as well. Original paintings of the Hexen. I don't know what that is. AOS Tarot. Tarot de Marseille woodcuts. Oh my God, the woodcuts must be amazing. I had to do wood cutting from printmaking class. I know that was really hard. And Shelby is here. I know, Nancy. Isn't she precious? Oh my God. So, but yeah, Shannon and I started looking at some places, apartments in the Ashland Medford area today. We actually found, and even though they're expensive, they're $1,500 a month. We did find a location that would allow 2 cats. All utilities are included: trash, water, sewer, electric, heat. Everything is all included, plus other amenities. $1,500, we really wouldn't have to worry about anything else but food, and that we could always get support, for the food. So there are going to be some places. I just wish we could leave now because they had apartments available as of today. That was, we could rent, but we're probably going to have to, wait a couple more months and just keep our fingers crossed that, that they're still there. So, they look to be about 11 by 14 and then painted mats around them. Okay. Um, Actually a little bit bigger than that. Okay. Yeah, everybody was adoring your Lulu. Nancy says she's so precious.
She's a cutie
And
pie.
Alexis is Lulu.
She's a black and tan, but she's so gray now. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God.
So
Yeah,
she
my
looks a lot
Lulu
different than she used
had
to.
all her gray.
She's her
Yeah.
whole face. I mean, she's still black and tan, but she's got a lot of gray now. It's just in her face. She doesn't really. It's just in her face. She doesn't really have any gray anywhere on her body. Not really. Just realize that.
She's
Yeah, it's mostly just
adorable.
her face.
And
Thank you.
Shell
She needed to go pee. So
that's what, yeah, she was doing the
she just
pee
needed to
dance.
pee, which is weird. She doesn't use Yeah, she must have drank a bunch of water because she just peed not that long ago. But whatever.
And Shelby says, I was watching the ghastly tales of the Tudor ghosts, including Henry VIII's wives.
Oh,
Talk about some energy. Ugh, what that man did to those poor women. Ugh. But yeah, there's a lot of people still doing the paranormal, and they pick up things. They're thinking a lot of it's like residual, but I think they said there's been a few that were and if Carolyn and Peter show up, we can ask them how much they think is residual and how much is actual haunting, because that's where they met and they used to do investigating in and around London and England. So, and thank you, Tom. Tom put the link into where the original paintings of Lady Ferris, Lady Frida Harris, her watercolors for the Thoth deck. So, and they're in London as well at the Warburg. So, very, very cool. So that's pretty much been, my week, but I just, the coincidence of, you know, me avoiding that accident and then thinking about my dad saying, "Yep, they had to be my dad," and then a few minutes later, no more than 5-10 minutes later, boom, a truck goes by past me with the name of my dad on it. So um, thank you, Papa. So um, I'll give it over to Allison then. How was your week and your little kitty cat balls that you got? Unless you don't want to, I thought that was cool. I thought people would get a kick out of your story with your kitty cat balls.
Um,
This is where you if you don't want to spend the money on REN pods, for detecting spirits and ghosts and stuff, kitty cat balls work too. And then I'll be quiet now.
they do. Um, let's see. So when did that happen? I guess that was, yeah, I was just talking about, so that was Sunday. So Friday was Valentine's Day. Had a lovely Valentine's Day. I won't go into details about that, but we had a really nice time. I will show one thing that I got. I brought this out so I could show you guys because it's so stinking cute. This is one of the things that Anthony got me. So it's a little
It's a
bat.
cat.
Look at this. Look at,
That is cute.
isn't this adorable? Oh, it's hard to tell with my black hoodie on.
No, we can see it. That's adorable.
And so his wings all wrap up. So we named him Vlad, like Vladimir.
Vlad the Impaler.
We named him Vlad. And then actually I can show one other thing that he got me.
Tom says,
They're right
Allison,
here.
we want the juicy Valentine's Day details though.
Look at this, is something else that he got me, which is very cool. So these are hand carved, and so there's no breaks in them or anything. They were carved this way, which is super cool. And they're from Jerusalem, and they're carved out of, this is from an olive tree. So they're really cool. I'm looking here in the camera. You can't see how beautiful these are, and it's really, really cool. And it's kind of weird that he got me, and I won't go into the rest of it, but that he got me a couple like things. He doesn't usually do that, but he did get me the other stuffed animal. You guys saw the werewolf. He did get me that actually. But this, he saw this and thought it was super cool. And
that's very cool.
And they're beautiful. It's really, really pretty. So he got me a card that made me cry. And I'm not a crier. And then what he wrote in it, and it was just beautiful. And we had a really nice dinner. And yeah, so that was Valentine's Day. And then and I got him some things, and it was really nice. Oh, and I decorated his place, and he did. I got there before he did, like, I don't know, 30. I wanted to get there earlier, but it just didn't work out. Oh, and I made him I got him some stuff, but I made him Buckeyes. And those of you that are familiar with this area know what Buckeyes are. Buckeyes are a candy that you make. It's like a confection, and they're kind of like a peanut buttery type based candy, and you dip them in chocolate, and then they harden, and they end up looking like a Buckeye, which is a Buckeye nut from a tree, and that's why they're called Buckeyes. It's an Ohio thing. They're really, really delicious, and yeah, it's a Michigan, Ohio thing. So if you're from this area, you know what I'm talking about. If you're not, you probably have no clue what the hell I'm talking about.
Tom says, I never had them, but I wanted to
They're
try
really
them.
good. I have a really good recipe. If you want it, Tom, I'll send it to you. It's not real difficult. It's a beautiful result. It's so funny. He got all excited about them, and they're great, but it's like I make him stuff that's far more complicated than that, but he was all excited about the candy. And so what else? Oh, so anyways, him and I were chatting. Yeah, I will. I'll send it to you, Tom. So Heather will give me your email. So I don't even remember how it started, but we were, oh, I know. I think it was on your live, and I told you guys about how I was watching. There'd been a couple things that had happened at Anthony's house on the balcony. Didn't I talk about that on the live?
Yeah,
I
Allyson,
did,
did
right?
you fill your guy in about the conversation about the visitor? What did he think? So he's asking about something that you've shared in the past.
Did you fill in your guy about the conversation about the visitor? That was at his place. I was with him.
Okay. Oh, that was with him. So that's okay, Tom. So now you're caught
Yeah,
up.
we were there together. Unless you're talking about something else. But no, that was at Anthony's. We were sitting together, like in his big, huge chair when that happened. But anyways, and then the second time, or no, the time that I actually, wait, no, the next evening after what had happened, I was watching a paranormal video on some new channel that I had started watching on my laptop, which I don't do over there, but that's what we were doing. And they were showing these people with some REM pods, and they had some of the I don't know what they call them, but the like Heather's calling them the cat balls, because that's what they are. They've got like a little sensor in them, and they go off.
Yeah, the LED REM pods.
LED,
yeah.
yep. And then there was some other things. Well, anyways, Anthony and I were talking about it, and I said, I'm gonna order some of those. I want to get some of those and just see, And he's like, oh yeah, yeah. Anyways, and then typical Anthony, he ordered like half a dozen of them like the next day or whatever. And he's like, oh yeah, I ordered some of those. And so they came in on Saturday, I guess. Anyways, I was there at his place all weekend, and then I didn't have my dogs over there, so I mean I was back and forth, but I mean I was pretty much over there. Those of you that have little dogs know how that is. They sleep a lot, but I come back several times. Anthony lives very close by. Like he's like a 5-minute drive for me. So anyways, one of the times that I came back home, I was here for, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes, something like that, to feed them and take them out potty and whatever else. And I brought a couple of the I brought a couple of what were Anthony and I were calling them something else, and now I can't remember what we were calling them. Heather was calling them cat balls, so I'll just call him that. So I grabbed, he got 6. He said I could take 3. For whatever reason, I took 2, right? So I grabbed 2 and I brought them home, and I was doing a bunch of stuff, and I'd almost forgot that I'd even brought them, and then they caught my eye. Oh, I need to back up in a second, but I'll do that in a minute. Anyways, I saw them in my my purse, and I got them out, and I only set out one. That's right. At that point, I only set out one, and I sat it on my altar. And those that you that know and watched Heather and whatever know that I have a working altar that I'm at a lot. But it's mostly for like my my spirit team and my soul family, right? So it's like it, but I do stuff at it all the time, and I put out water and fresh coffee, and right now there's peppermint bark and whatever, and I talk to my team and this that whatever. Well, before I continue, typical Allyson style, I have to back up a little bit because I forgot something. So Sunday, which is the day that I was doing this, was my Anthony's maternal grandfather's birthday. He's long dead. He's died actually before Anthony was even born. So he died fairly young. He was like 49 years old. And or no, he was, it doesn't matter. He was in his early 50s. I always confuse him with there's 2 ancestors of his. Anyways, very similar, died of the same thing, around the same age, da 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 da. But anyways, so he was very, very close to his grandmother, who lived another almost 30 years after her husband died, right? I think it's not a stretch at all that his grandfather is probably one of his guides, right? I mean, his grandmother took care of him a lot of the time. She lived with them, his family, right? So she lived with all of them. She did a lot of the cooking, blah, 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 whatever. So anyway, it was his grandfather's birthday on Sunday, and I'm the one that's into all this kind of stuff, right? Keeping track of everybody's birthday, anybody's significant, and mentioning it and bringing up and speaking their name on their birthday and all this kind of. Anyways, so I've been doing that morning, and we had been in bed. We got up, whatever time we got up, and kind of hanging out in bed a little bit. I normally never do that, but since Anthony, I do that a little bit on Sundays because he likes to do that, and it's perfectly fine with me. I still get up fairly early, make my coffee and whatever. So we were laying in bed talking and da da da, and he was, dozing off and asleep and awake and asleep and awake. And so I had gotten on my phone and I was being me and totally dorking out on all this stuff with his family, which I had done before a little bit on Find a Grave, and also looking at Ancestry and seeing how much I could actually look at, which I could only look at so much. And this, that, whatever. And I was also communicating, trying to, with his grandma a little bit that day. And I set her out a cup of coffee at her picture that he has in the living room and this and that, and just kind of sat with all that for a minute. And I did set up a ball in front of her picture with the coffee and all that. And anyways, I went home like, I don't know, hour, two later. And when I got home, and then I'd been here for a little bit, and then I got into my purse as I noticed the cat balls, and I put one on my altar like I had said, and like I don't even know, 15 minutes later, something like that.
This
and
is great.
I was getting ready to, I think I was going out to fill my bird feeder. That was another thing I had to do when I was here, because I feed the deer, I feed the birds, and I feed the squirrels where I live. So I went outside to feed somebody. And as I got to my door right here to walk out, and you can kind of see right there, oh, my finger actually lined up. There's a black ribbon with their witches balls that hang on my door.
Well, that's cool.
And when I went to open the door, the witches balls jingled like they've done 500 gazillion times. It happens every single time I open the door. And for whatever reason, and not that there's a connection, I just as it happened simultaneous. I got look at the altar. And I turned right as I went to the door, which is all the way across the room, and the witch's ball was going off.
The kitty ball.
Now, nothing had touched it. Nothing had walked by it. And I'll have you know, those of you that don't know, I thought when I ordered them that if you walked by it or whatever, it would set it off. It doesn't. It has to be physically touched or manipulated for it to go off. Mm-hmm. So there was no reason for it to go off. I obviously hadn't touched it. I was across the room. Nobody's here but me and my dogs were asleep or whatever the hell. And Mozzie's hilarious with the camera. And
he's pulling on your placemat that you made me.
So cute. And so I was just like, I was like, oh wow, okay. And then but I was already in the middle of doing what I was doing. And so I went outside. I was only outside for, I don't know, probably 2 minutes tops. Came back in, and I was thinking about it the whole time I'm out there, because I'm literally holding, again, I don't remember who it was. I think it was the birds, but whatever. I'm holding the container that I use for all these different types of food that I drop outside. And I came back in and I put that away, and I washed my hands really quick. And then I go over to the altar and I'm like, okay, so, I don't remember who's here or hi or blah, 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 whatever. Can you please do that again? Da, 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 da. And it went off again while I was standing there. And I got super duper excited. And then I went across the room and grabbed my phone. And I didn't think it would do it again. And I was asking for it and all of that. And it did go off again. And then
there you go.
That was it. Now, the funny thing is, I have no idea. I felt like when it happened, though, and I can't even tell you why, I felt like it was my mom. but that doesn't mean that it was. And again, all morning I had been talking to Anthony's grandma and grandfather. But I don't know. I don't know. I mean, hell, it could have been it could have been anybody or anything. But I really do think that that's what it was, that it was spirit. I really do. Like, I felt it when it happened. Hasn't gone off since. I've checked them many times. They haven't gone off yet. I did. And I didn't get the first 2 times, but I got the third one. And
I'm still waiting to see it.
And yeah, I'll send it to you. And
I think it's cool.
and yeah, and that was it. And it hasn't gone off since. And I've checked them several times. I have 2 set up now. I've checked them both several times to make sure that they're still on and whatever. Because you turn them on or you turn them off. When they're on, they'll just sit. They just wait. They don't really draw, I guess. They don't really draw power or anything unless they're actually blinking and going crazy. So, but nothing's happened. Anthony did have one go off. I was just telling Heather, I think it was Monday and I wasn't there. I was there a lot this week. I think it was Monday and I wasn't there. And it was when he had gotten home from work and he walked into his bedroom and there's no manipulating it.
Nope.
Where it's at and all of that. And again, motion does not set it off. The ball has to actually move. Or I think with these, whatever, spirit, whatever the heck it is, they can just make them go off because it's an electronic, right? They don't have to, it's not like it has to roll across the room or anything like that. So, but anyways,
an easy peasy REM pod if you can't afford the, the real ones.
Yeah, I mean, it was totally, I was, and you know what is funny? As soon as I opened them and saw them, I thought to myself, oh, my altar. And I don't know if that was dropped into to do that, or if I just thought of it on my own or whatever. But like, as soon as I sat it there, it was just going bonkers.
So Isadora would like to ask if they can, can we see what you're talking about? And Allyson actually has one behind her to see in case it goes off while we're talking this evening.
So it's right here, and I'll show it. Look, can you see me?
Yep, I can see it.
I don't have my glasses on. So I'm going to touch it right now so that it goes off.
So it takes a lot for it to go off. There you go.
And I'll show it. It goes off for, I think, 10 seconds, and then it shuts off.
Ooh, we need to get a couple of those maybe for in here, don't you think, Howie? I mean, Mozzie. Oh, I just called Mozzie Howie.
Now, I picked it up and moved it, so maybe it goes off longer when you do that. I've never done that, I just realized. Because it's like 10 seconds. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
And Shelby
8,
said
9, 10.
Shelby
I
said
was
that's
probably
the exact
counting
same
too fast.
That was at her class because her class used it too.
Very cool. That's what it looks like. We got 6 of them. But anyways, and I have one on my altar that just stays there. And then I have this one that's in my bedroom, but I brought it out for the live tonight just to see if woo! Actually,
I told Allyson it'd be kind of cool if we started talking about it and seeing if it starts going off.
Yeah, I'm gonna set it. I didn't really want to set it here by me in case I bump the table or something and then it goes off and then I'm like, oh, did it? Oh, but whatever. I'll just set it there and I'll let you guys know if it goes off. There's not really anywhere I can set it and you guys will see it because I have the camera set up. It just won't really show. But anyways, see my cute little space heater? See the fire going?
Mm-hmm.
It's so cozy. I love it. I've had that so long. My son was really little and I was still obviously married when I got it, and it still works great.
Yeah, you really appreciate the heat when you lose it, especially during the cold months.
It's not on. I just do it for the fireplace feature.
Yeah. All righty. I was hoping that, Carolyn and Peter would pop in, but if they do, we'll definitely have to get their perspective on that.
I want to ask her if she has any idea who was seen on Anthony's balcony. Neither one of us have seen it since. He saw it 3 times. I saw it once.
You can always email her too. She doesn't pop in tonight.
It's fine. Thank you. I'll just wait, but I'm just curious. And the funny thing, like I said, it was a week before, and I even said that to you guys, that it was like a week before his grandfather's birthday.
Oops, keep it cozy. Yeah. So I just want to ask really quick, can anybody hear a guitar? And here, if anybody hears any guitar music or any music, that's my sweetheart out there playing his guitar. So
I'm turning the heat up.
So well, Allison's.
Oh, by the way, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I think we talked. Well, no, I wasn't here last week, and you did kind of mention it just now. But I don't know where everybody is. I mean, we're all in different places, but here in Michigan, and Heather has very similar weather to me. We've been down to like single digits here and there over the last week, and then today it got up to 32.
Ooh.
And the sun was shining. There was no clouds in the sky, which is a rarity in Michigan. That doesn't happen a whole lot because we're surrounded by the Great Lakes. So we have lots of cloud coverage here. We have blue skies, and it got up to 32. And I am not kidding. And it's so weird. You'd have to experience it. And if you know, you know. When it does that, when it goes from like 9 or 4 degrees, I mean, it's like what? Depending on the wind chill, it feels like it's negative 15. You know, it's crazy. And then it's 32 degrees and the sun is out. I am not kidding. It feels like spring. Like you'll walk outside, you won't even have your coat zipped. You're like, yeah, it's actually pretty nice. It's crazy. Yeah. It makes your body just.
We had a high of 19 today,
like
but the sun
crack.
would come out now and then, and it made it nice and warm. So, but
yeah
19.
It was 32 degrees today, and it actually felt warm.
Oh wow! Eternal Light said we had a 70-degree difference in weather in one day here.
Wow,
Eternal Light, where are you?
That's crazy.
I'm interested where. And Shelby goes through the seasonal depression thing. She said, "For me, it's the summer.
A lot of people do.
I get
a
sick
lot of people do, and they don't even know that's what the hell's going on.
I've never had a problem with that. It's for me, it's the summer that gets me really sick.
Yeah, low vitamin D.
Oh, Alberta. Oh, so a fellow Canadian. So, all righty.
And then you see on the news, North Dakota, South Dakota, and wherever the hell else, like friggin' they were projecting. I don't know if it actually ended up happening, but it was like 30 below. 30 below.
Yeah, we had that here about 10 years ago or so when we had that polar vortex coming through, and we had like 30 below here during that on and off during that one winter.
I've never lived anywhere that we had that. That's crazy.
Here. Oh, that was brutal.
I've done 5 below, maybe 10 below for a minute in Michigan, but nothing colder than that. I mean, 30 below. I mean, those of you that know every degree that you get below, I'm gonna say 20, you feel it. Every degree that it's colder. And it's just it can be so cold that it actually hurts your skin. The moisture in your nose just freezes. So I'm a school bus driver, right? So they don't cancel school for severe temperature. They don't. It literally, Wednesday was my first day back because we had midwinter break. So Friday, Monday, Tuesday, we were off. So Wednesday was my first day back. My bus, because Wednesday it was 5 degrees in the morning when I went to work, 5. And with the wind chill, I don't even know what the hell it was, 10 below, something like that. It took probably a good 40 minutes before my bus was warm.
Yeah.
like truly warm. And half my kids didn't even ride. You know, when it's that cold, kids get their parents to drive them to school. You
Yeah.
know,
You wanna
anybody
wait.
that's got a ride or their parents will take them, whatever, because they don't want to be at the bus stop or get on the damn cold bus.
Well,
And
in
the bus,
Buffalo, we're
like on a
used to that.
regular day, regular winter day, the bus warms up pretty quick. I mean, my bus is warm in like 10 minutes. I mean, it's blowing right here at my driver, you know, heat is blowing right on me, but that cold, no, it takes
Yeah,
freaking
Shelby
forever.
says, been out there looking like Jack Nicholson from The Shining.
No shit.
I've never seen the movie, but I've seen those. They made
He's
really funny
totally
memes.
frozen in the end.
Yeah.
Like he's covered in ice.
Yeah, they make funny little memes about that. So I've seen those in the
Yep.
past.
Yep.
So another
crazy.
interesting, and Lexi, I hope you're still here. Were you done sharing before or
Yeah.
can we go into? Okay, I didn't want to cut you off.
No, it's fine.
So, and hopefully Lexi is still here. And really quick, Alexis is going to be joining Nancy and I for the Divine Feminine on Monday. And Lexi has been doing a video every day for the last, I think Lexi said 60 days. And so one of the ones that got me inspired was she did one for gratitude the other day. And I thought, well, it would be kind of cool. Let's do goddesses, and gratitude. Goddesses are the divine feminine that represent gratitude, bounty, abundance, things like that. And so Lexi's going to be joining us on Monday with Nancy and I. I know there's a couple shows. So, oh, there she is. So Alexis is here. I'm so excited too. And so I wanted to recommend, I haven't been able to finish watching it yet. But Alexis did a video today about doing videos, and she knows that her subscribers, she's got up to 80 subscribers or 81 subscribers already. So thank you everybody for subscribing to Alexis. We love us, like we just like to call her Lexi. And some of us are allowed to call her Sexy Lexi. And she did a video today talking about here, let me close my bedroom door because I can really hear Shan playing. Hold on a second. Sorry about that, y'all, but I'm hearing them playing and I can't focus on what I'm saying. So Alexis did a video about footprints and how, some people can have go viral and have so many views on a video. And she's, oh, you're up to 82 now. Woohoo. And she gets views, but nothing like, what some other people, that especially that they've been on YouTube for a while. And I love how she was talking about, and again, I didn't get to watch the whole video, Alexis, but I love how you said you wanted to leave a footprint. And what touched me is that she leaves these beautiful positive messages and talks every day from her room, these videos. And it's like leaving, like she was saying, breadcrumbs for people, who come across her channel later on in the future, maybe when she's gone, because Alexis is 60 and she just started her YouTube channel. That's awesome. And you're never too old to do anything. And start having the discussion of, wanting to be remembered or leaving something to help people that come after her, positive messages, talking about life and emotions, and just knowing that, we're basically all in on this together. So I do recommend, I don't have any moderators in chat right now. But if you can go over to Alexis' channel, just Alexis Milner, um, and click on that. And Alexis has gone through a major weight loss, 100 pounds, Allyson. So her and her daughter Zoe are just, kicking life, taking, was they called, kicking life, taking names, but just being a real example, beautiful example. I would say example. I don't like that word. Oh, Tom, you're still here. Thank you, Tom. And just be like an inspiration, And like I've said, Alexis, in other videos, it took me 3 years just to get up to 1,000. But for me, a lot of those people don't come back. But still, it's for me. It's always been about the quality of the subscriber. So even though you may not have a lot of views or maybe not a lot of subscribers right away, there's going to be those certain subscribers that are going to always come back in. You see them in chat, especially if you might not have seen them in a while, because life happens, and your heart just lights up, and you're so happy to see them. And so now Lexi, now you have 83. Woohoo! Let's see if we can start passing around Lexi's name and channel. Maybe we can get her up to 100. I think that's when YouTube allows her to have a community page. So let's get her up to 100. And so, Alexis, I thought this was just fitting. I have a deck that I got a couple weeks ago called Seeds from the Sacred Feminine. I did actually. I think I did readings on this last Friday when we didn't do our show. So I went live in the afternoon or in the evening. I can't remember which one it was. And so I was just, I randomly pick up my book, look at a page, kind of read, see what the author said, and I got the Express Your Love page, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So I read about it, and I put, start shuffling. And what's the card that pulled out? Express Your Love. And that is the artwork. And for those who don't know, this is created by two Métis Indigenous people of Canada. Andrea Menard is the author, and the artist. Oh, where is her name? Oh my goodness. Because they always put the writer's name on the back with the picture, and they never do that really for the artist. And you can't have a deck
Yeah.
without the artist.
I don't know what's up with that.
So, oh my goodness. Leah. Okay, her name is Leah Dorian. And there's a total of 52 cards, and these are all taken from hand painted paintings that she did. And they're just absolutely stunning. I mean, the colors, the texture. I mean, I just could not believe, it'd been on my radar for a while. And I saw Elizabeth, the more intuitive me, using those a couple times in a row when she did a live. And I was like, okay, now they are really, really calling to me. And right now I'm not ordering anything because I'm getting ready to move and stuff. But I talked to Shan. This was just around for, Valentine's Day. And I said, they're on sale. They're like $24. And he's like, you don't have to get my permission. And I said, but can we? He goes, yes, honey, get them, get them. So I got them, and I absolutely love them. So shuffling, and what card comes out? The Express Your Love. So I was rereading, and there's a section of it. I just want to read what the author wrote. And it says here, you have too much love hidden away in your heart, grandchild. You must let it out. You were born into this earth walk to love, and all the sacred laws conspire to help you. Do not hold onto the idea that you are alone in the world. You are not. You are a child of the sacred masculine and the sacred feminine, whose ecstatic coupling gave birth to you and all your relations. Rejoice in your sacred lineage and know you are cherished. And Lexi, your sacred lineage, the footprints, I automatically started thinking about you. Can you feel that love? It lives in your heart. When you express who you are, all of creation hears your heart song and sings it back to you. I love that. That is the way of the circle of life. Your heart song awakens others to their song. And I think that's what you're doing, Alexis. When people come to you, it's not about, always doom and gloom and depression and brimstone and fire. You bring a very light-hearted, gentle energy, and I think is really much needed right now. And it says here, you have much love to give. Let it flow and watch how love flows back to you. You will transform the very earth you walk on. So when Allyson joined me backstage, I asked her, we're going to do readings, if I could do a themed question based on this card. and she was down with it. And it says, "What is keeping you from expressing who you are?" So this could be expressing who you are, expressing. It says here to express your love, but that's pretty much who you are. So what is keeping you from expressing who you are? So that's
I
going
need
to
a
be.
writing instrument. I'm sorry.
So
Oh,
that's
here we
what
go.
we are going to pull cards on this evening. So if anybody. So Tom says, I am looking forward to visiting Heather in Oregon and going squatching with Shan. Well, I'm going to go squatching too. So come on now. I mean, we can also take a trip down to Mount Shasta as long as we stay on the path. Too many people disappear when they don't stay on the path and stay away from the mountain, going too far past the mountain. But Shasta would be a great thing to do, place to go too. And yes, Kathy, congratulations, Alexi. We are going to get you to 100, and hopefully by Monday you'll be almost there. And she said, "Thank you, Heather. I really want that to be what my channel is all about: positivity and gratitude. We need a lot of that. We really do right now." And so that is what we're going to be pulling cards on. So if anybody would like a reading, just go ahead and type "me" in big capitals, and we will get going. And I'm just going to go and grab some water. Um, let's see. And you can hang out with Brody. Who is Brody? So, oh my goodness, Tom is actually asking for a reading. Oh my. So,
So what is the theme? What is keeping you from expressing who you are?
mhm.
And what is this lady's name again? Say her name one more time with the new channel.
Her name is Alexis Milner,
Milner.
Milner. And Alexis, you'll have to join Allyson and I on a Friday night and hang out with us too.
So I'll subscribe after the show, Alexis. It's something that I noticed, which you probably already noticed. This is Alexis I'm talking to. I have a small channel myself, but I've kind of abandoned it to be perfectly honest. But something that I noticed when I first started was, and you're sounds like you're already doing this, but just in case you're not, I noticed that if I posted when I posted every single day, like after like I can't remember what it was. I'm gonna say the 10-day mark, I would get way more views. It's like YouTube would put it more in the algorithm. Not that the people that watched me were watching more, it would just come through more feeds. Like it would be shown to more people, so I would just get more views and then I would get more followers. So, and you've probably already figured that out, but that's something that nobody ever told me that. I just caught on to it after it happened a few different times because I would post every day and then I would kind of stop and then I would go back and forth and whatever when I first started doing it. So,
Your words, consistency.
yeah, exactly. And it was like, it wasn't like, oh, every day. It was like there had to be a certain amount of days. And I don't know if the time had anything to do with it or not. But and also I never did shorts, and I probably should have done shorts. Never did shorts because that gets you more views too. But anyways, I just wanted to share that and good luck. And yeah, and I'll subscribe and I'll check your channel out.
Okay, I think I missed somebody who wanted a reading. Let's see. I have Tom. I have Kathy. Were those the only two so far? I think so. Judith just joined us, so good to see you. March 5th will make 60 days straight that she's done her daily videos.
Good job. That's awesome.
Alrighty, wow. Well, we will get started with
Hi.
Lulu again.
Lulu's over here standing here again. I think now she wants a treat though. What's up? I don't know, she's just standing here looking at me. She's a
Tom, you haven't posted.
She's not really a dog. She acts like she's a dog, but she's not really a dog. She's the least dog that I've ever had. She is going to go over there and drink some water. You guys are probably here. Listen.
I can hear when her nails click on the.
She's drinking some water. Yeah, my sister calls her a fur bird. She's a short hair chihuahua for anybody that she's very elusive. Like once in a while in my live, you'll catch her like in the corner walking by or whatever. She sleeps almost all the time. So even when she was young, she did that. So she'll wake up for a walk and food. So who am I? Okay. So we're doing Tom. All right.
Yeah.
Let me shush up. All right. Let me shush up and pull.
Ooh. Oh God, Tom! I just pulled the High Priestess. That's so funny. After you sending me that picture today. Yeah, I felt like pulling my I don't know what she calls it. It's a generic version of the Lambrithos tarot through Barnes and Noble. Tina Gaughan's tarot deck. So what's keeping you from expressing who you? Whoa. Okay, so 3 cards just came out. Interesting cards, Tom. Oh, I can still hear my Shan. I wish you guys could hear it. I think he's playing some Super Trap right now. Give a little bit. That's what he's playing right now. Give a little bit of your love to me. High Priestess. Okay, so Tom. Let's start with the Oracle. I was just going to pull one, but then I was drawn to pull another one. So here it says, sit by a body of water is your first one. And this could be anything, a river, a lake, a pond, a stream, but it's all about getting to the water, our emotions. And this makes a lot of sense because you did get several other cup cards, and you got the High Priestess, which all has to do with emotions and intuition, which falls underwater. So sitting by a body of water. Let's see what she says about this one here. I've been trying to connect first before reading the books, but I got a feeling here. You have been inside too long. It's time for a water healing. So this is about getting outside, getting by the water, swimming, floating, splashing. Water here. It says here, remember this powerful connection. As a human being, you have the power to transform the waters of the world by holding gratitude and love in your heart. Ask every drop of water to return to its pristine state and to illuminate your body and every body of water on the earth. So, Tom, just water is really important for cleansing, energetic cleansing. To drink water, pure water, healthy water. Start drinking more of that, and before drinking, putting that intention in the water that it's going to help heal and cleanse, and basically help heal your body. The card at the bottom, which has to do with emotions as well, is let yourself rage, howl, and wail. And I know you've been going through a lot lately with the way things are with the current, administration, with the election and everything. I know you've been very angry. You've been very worried, concerned. I know it's gotten you down. I've seen you talk about it in chat and privately. So right now, just really going by water, crying, giving your energy to the water, your sadness, your pain, giving it to the water. Let it flow. Your tarot cards, and it says here, what is keeping you from expressing who you are? Is this rage, is this pain, are these emotions that obviously need to you need to let go of, needing to get back to a healthier stasis, especially with water, in your body, drinking more healthy. um, I mean, you can't really go any healthier than water. Um, and here you got the high priestess. And I asked for a clarifier for the high priestess, and I got the seven of swords. So the seven of swords feels like there was something that you feel might have been taken from you, or you feel like something has been taken from you, or you have those thoughts of, or your thoughts being taken. But with the high priestess clarifying that is the wisdom. And with this here too, is it could be take what you know. Okay, here you go. Take what you know and leave the rest. Trust in your intuition. Trust in your. I know you don't necessarily believe in a higher power, but trust at least within that energy of yourself. Or you can believe or tap into the possibility of something else, if that is better for you, or that archetypal energy that you talk about. The other card I did get was the devil. So there are things to do with temptations, addictions, but also here repression, and that anger, that rage, all those aggressive emotions, painful emotions. I feel like those are is what's manipulating your happiness right now and expressing who you are. So really just try to get, and I asked for a clarifier and I got the Queen of Cups. Again, like the high priestess, the nurturer, the intuition, the artist. The cups also are associated with art. I've seen the queen, the page, being associated with being an artist, creativity. So trying to get past that moodiness and tapping into that intuition and that creative energy and emotions, and start maybe expressing that through art, through your music, through your sculptures, through drawings, whatever it is that you do. And I did get the seven of cups, so again, more emotions, more water. And so maybe here the seven of cups, there's just so much going on in you emotionally. It's like, where do I start? And I think what the cards are saying is start with being by the water, drinking healthier, try to eat healthier, start trusting in your intuition, working through those emotions, letting them flow when they need to, because when you repress them, what happens? We get sick. It causes disease in our bodies. Tap into that creativity and maybe start working one at a time with what things that you need to work through so that you can start expressing again who you are. But I think it's a lot of those emotions, my friend, that you've been going through lately, and not just, recently with, you know, politics and everything in the way in the world right now, but things that you shared too in the past with, growing up and the things that you went through then. So I'm just going to end there so I don't go on too much, and I'll give you over to Allison. And Karen's here. Hey, Karen. Hey, girly.
Hey, Tom, and hi, Karen. So the question was, what is keeping you from expressing who you are? And interestingly enough, this has only happened a few times. I went through my whole deck twice and I had two cards come out, which is not a spread. I always read spreads. That's just how I read. So, since it wasn't going to cooperate with me, I am going to do a two-card reading, which again, I never do, but I will because this is all that came out. And again, what is keeping you from expressing who you are? And I'll show you the cards in a minute. What I'm getting from this is a sense of, and make of this what you want or read into it what you want. I don't know you. And what I got is completely different from Heather, but that's often what happens with us. We pick up on completely different energies. this is again, what is keeping you from expressing who you are? I don't feel like this is a moment thing. I think this is bigger, broader than that. There's something here that would have been considered some sort of a loss or something that wasn't available or taken away or whatever of some sort of ability to have happiness, true happiness, right? And that doesn't mean you don't experience happiness or you haven't had any happiness, but that's what I'm getting from this. This is something that either is, maybe it is something that's happening right now, or this is something you carried through life, or I don't know. So make of it what you want, and I'll show you the cards in a minute. And then separate from that, and I did pull from an oracle deck because I'm oh no. And the other thing, actually no, I will backtrack. Never mind. Sorry, me. I also pulled from an oracle deck, and this is telling me that it's the same thing. It's the same message in a single card. What is keeping you from expressing who you are is wholeness. There's something that's not available to you. So anyways, in the and for anybody that's interested, I'm using my Tarot Nefertari.
Very cool.
And I'm using the Egyptian Gods Oracle decks. But anyways, I got the 5 of Pentacles, the 10 of Cups. That's the spread. Read them in order. And it seemed very plain to me. Boom, this is what this means. This is from the Egyptian Gods. This is thought and the God and wholeness. It's very much this, it's the same message. It's the same message. This is of your creation, bottom of the deck, the Magician. Now that doesn't mean that you like designed it and wanted it, but meaning you are the orchestrator of, in some way, doesn't, again, I don't know what it is. It doesn't mean like, oh, it's your fault or whatever. It's just also you have the power. If you did this, you have the power to take it away, right? Doesn't mean you have to. And again, I don't know if you know what this is. It could be a situation. It feels bigger than that, but that doesn't mean that it is. And then also from the Roast Iconic Oracle deck, which I absolutely love because it's friggin' awesome and hilarious. I pulled Fashion Witch, which is not what it sounds like. Fashion Witch is, it's like, it's also what this is. This is like talking about being a spiritual person, but not really feeling it. Like not really, you know, like, but you don't really, I was going to say, it's kind of like walking the walk, but not, or talking the talk, but not walking the walk. Well, you're always, you're always,
Allyson is calling me
and
out.
everything. So, and I'm really not trying to, babe. I'm just, this is what's here. It's so, yeah. So I don't make of it what you want. You know how to read. That's what I pulled. Again, that's all I could get to come out.
So he has
and when I cut the deck, I did get exploration in this deck. This is like saying, find your way out of this. You can do that. If you even know what this is, whatever this is, if you even know, and again, you got the Magician. This is all, so I don't know if it's, actually, no, I'm going to go down a whole rabbit hole. Anyways, that's what I got for you, honey.
Okay, so I've been highlighting what Tom's been saying. He says, it's something I think I have carried for a variety of reasons, but I think this is more related to Heather's reading than you think. He then said the lack of
I didn't really
cards,
listen to it. I mean, I heard some of it, but I'm doing my own thing over here, so
the lack of
I heard
cards
some of it. And
is a
itself,
card in
yeah, the
of
lack of
itself.
cards. The lack of cards is a card in itself. It Yeah, exactly. Like I said, I went through the whole deck twice, and that's all I got.
And I know that he goes he does have an idea of what
Okay.
you were saying. He found it very interesting. He goes, I am a fashion witch. And then Allyson is calling me out, but this all makes a lot of sense, to be honest. I
This
think I
deck
did
is
know.
awesome for anybody that's interested. It goes again.
I didn't even know
I
you
need to
had
just
it.
stop saying this. For one, I don't do Oracle decks, but
No,
I've
you don't,
managed to
but you still
acquire a
get them.
few. This is a huge pet peeve of mine, but I got it anyway for a show that I used to do. It's the only reason I got it. It only has 30 cards in the deck, which I hate. I want to throw this across the room because it only has 30 cards. It's like anything that has less than 50, I'm like, pfft, it's like, which is part of the reason I almost always only do tarot. But this has 30 cards, and I just pulled them out tonight just because I thought it was funny. And the only reason I picked it up because I hadn't used it in a while, and then it's Tom because it's Tom. I'm like, oh, I got to pull one of these because it's Tom. Because they're just they're sarcasm, and they're just kind of they're kind
Yes,
of
Tom, I
but
do
they're very
see.
telling too.
Yes. And Tom says, I need those two Egyptian decks of yours.
They're
I know I do too.
awesome. Tom, they're both by you probably know Silvana Alacia.
Those are cool. I gotta get me an Egyptian deck.
And they're gorgeous. I know, and I love anything Egypt. I have so many books and this and that, whatever. But it's a great deck. I love the Egyptian Gods Oracle. That's actually a really cool deck. Um,
Is
I
that the
need to
one with
pick it
only the
back up and
major
really.
arcana?
What's that?
Is that the one that has only cards for the major arcana? Because
I
I know
don't
there's
have a major deck.
Okay, because I know there's an Egyptian one that has the majors, I think, only. So I was just
No,
wondering.
this is just Egyptian gods.
Mm.
And it's not even all of them because there's so many. Or so many. How many cards are in this deck? This deck has
Karen says I gotta learn all the symbolism. Yeah, lots of symbolism, Karen. But you gotta let those symbols speak to you on their own level too, for you personally. That's why I like getting to know a deck on my own at first, and then looking at the book.
yeah, this was another one that didn't quite cut the mustard with that. It's got 36 cards. Lame, but it's a really cool
I
deck.
got Oracle cards at 36 is yeah.
Not enough.
When people wanted
Not
their own
enough.
hand painted Oracle decks, then they
Not
wanted
enough.
36 cards.
Not
Oh, good
enough.
lord! You know how long that would take me to paint those? Good lord!
Not enough. Well, it's just not enough. It's not a big enough deck for a lot of people. For some people, sure. I guess if you're then you're doing like a 1 card reading. It's like, which is not a reading. There's people out there that'll disagree with me. That's fine. I just no, 1 card doesn't tell me squat. That's just me.
And so Shelby had a question while we were reading. Just wondering, how do you both go
Good
about picking
question.
cards? Sometimes I let them fly out, but if I'm shuffling too long, I cut the deck and take the cards from the top.
Go
For
ahead,
me,
Heather, and then I'll answer because my answer is a lot longer than yours probably.
um, well, I shuffle until it feels right. However, if I'm shuffling and one or two cards fly out, I will pick those up and set those aside because obviously, to me, they needed to come out. Now, if there's a whole bunch that comes out, no, they're all going back into the deck, and I'll shuffle until again I feel like and I have this thing where when I'm shuffling and when I'm done, it's like I go like that. It's like, okay, you're done, no more shuffling, and then um, I learned this too. I picked up from Jackie is I look at the top card and I look at the bottom. And then if I feel like I want a little more information, then I'll pull the next couple of cards just to kind of have like a recent, past, present, future to get the energy. And then if I need to clarify something, usually with a court card or possibly a major, I'll just be intuitively guided. It's really different for each reader. And so that's pretty much how I do it. And I give it over to Awesome.
And then really quickly before I talk about that, look at how beautiful these are. So these are the backs of the Egyptian gods oracle decks.
Oh, those are beautiful.
So it's got the Eye of Ra and the Eye of Horus, and it's really, they're really cool. And then this is the backs of the tarot cards. I love them. They're really cool. So I love that you asked that. So I have a bad thumb, which is kind of friggin' annoying because I'm a bridge shuffler. Love it. Love bridge shuffling. That's when it feels right. And so I still do that, but that's not pulling cards, but it's like ideally I do that. But I've had to start doing a lot more side shuffling because depending on how my thumb is doing. But how do I pull my cards? It really depends on how I'm feeling. I do jumpers sometimes exclusively. If I'm doing, which I've kind of abandoned, if I'm doing like a Celtic cross, I usually do jumpers for a Celtic cross. Now, if it's a 5-card spread or a 3-card spread, and depending on who I'm doing it for and whatever, I will shuffle, 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 shuffle. And then I will cut the deck. I cut the deck twice to the left, and then I stack the bottom onto the top onto the bottom. The bottom card is the overall energy, and those top 5 cards are my spread. That's the only time I do it that way, or with a 3-card spread. I do jumpers a lot of the time, depending on what it is. But I really, and for the longest time, I did not do what I just described with cutting the deck and stacking it all back up. But if I'm really concentrating on what I'm doing and tuning into the cards, I can feel when it's time for me to stop. And I will do that. For the longest time, I didn't do it. And I think all readers are probably different. Obviously, it's important that you get the cards you're supposed to get, right? And if you're doing some wackadoo thing that just doesn't resonate or feel right, you're never going to get the right reading. You're not going to get the right cards. I see when I first started reading, I wanted to be able, there was a lady that I used to know, and she would do her cards and she would fan them all out, and she would just go and she would just pull her cards out of the fan. I love watching that. And I love it when I see people do that. I can't do that for shit.
I used to do that.
I can't get a good reading, and then you're just reading BS, and it's not even a reading, and I'm not connecting to the cards. It's just nonsense. It looks really nice. It looks really pretty. I've seen people do a lot of different ways. But that was one that I like to watch it. I think it's very pleasing to watch, and I enjoy it. I've had readings of people that have done it that way, sat right in front of somebody and done that. I cannot get my spread like that. Now, something that I do that's different than other people, and this might be more information what you're looking for, but I'm just going to run my mouth for a second. So when you have a deck and you've got it, a lot of people don't do this, but I do. Those of you that have cards and or read cards, or you at least have a deck and you play with it sometimes or whatever, a lot of decks will kind of bend, like they bow out to the top of the card. A lot of people pull their cards this way, right? Like this. I do mine the opposite. I have the actual card is what my thumb is on. I'm not looking at them though, right? So I'm like this, right? The card comes out, right? So you're like this, pulling on it, rather the other way. And it depends on the deck too. Some decks I might not do that with. It depends on the deck. They all feel different. They all shuffle different. The paper is different on all of them. There's decks that any deck that I use, I'm connected to. I don't use any decks that I'm not connected to. And I'm sure not everybody can say that. Any deck you ever see me pull from, it's a deck that I have a relationship with. And I have lots of decks. I've been very selective and careful and try to be a grown up about only buying what makes sense. And I've done quite well with that. And I do have decks that I'll pull out once in a while. Yeah, I'm connected to them. If you ever see me pull from it, I'm connected to it. But I have some that I'm really connected to. This is one that I'm connected to. As much as I love all the Egyptian stuff, it's not like, yeah, this is my deck. I wanted it to be my deck. I love it, don't get me wrong, but I have 3 decks that I'm really, really connected to. So that's part of it too. Anything that comes out of those 3 decks, that's my card. If it comes out, it's supposed to come out. And I just know it. I don't know how to explain it. You just know. It's just boom. So, but yeah, that's how I get my cards. I know that was a long ass answer, but that's how I get
No,
my cards.
you were sharing exactly, the fanning. There's all different ways of doing it. So you were sharing your what works best for you. And Shelby says, good answers. I get a hard time because I shuffle and no card comes out, and I'm telling my guides to spill the beans. And I don't want to keep shuffling because it kind of damages my cards.
You know what you could do, and I don't know how you're doing it. I can't see you. I'm sure I could probably, not that I'm a freaking expert, but I could probably say something if I could see you shuffling. Something else you can do is kind of, it's funny because I've been trying to teach Anthony. I gave him a deck for Valentine's Day. That's one of the things I gave
Oh, how
him.
cute.
He's got extremely large hands. And so regular size deck doesn't work for him. And then I gave him, I think I probably talked about this huge deck I was going to give him, and he can, but the card stock is not fabulous. So I haven't quite figured out. My whole point is like, not everybody is used to it. I shuffle all the time. I will pick up my deck and just goof around with it and never even pull a damn card. I like to shuffle. It's just something that I'll do. The deck will be sitting there and I'll just pick it up and I'll just be shuffling it. So for me, what I do is the back side, and you could just do this. Just get used to doing this. And maybe that's what you're talking about, but I don't think it is. You will have a card come out. You're dropping chunks of like 5 or so cards at a time. And just hold the question in your mind and just sit there and just keep doing it. You're gonna have a card come out. And even if it doesn't fly out, so I have an agreement with my guides, because you'd say if it comes out and it's like this, I don't read it. It's got to be face up. And if it's supposed to come out, it'll come out again. And it will, and it does. So sometimes I'll look at it, sometimes usually I don't. If it's not face up, I'm not reading it. And so, that's just, and I've said it out loud. I've thought it, I've said it to my guides. It's known. So, and they usually don't. Any card that comes out, mostly they will. Or I'll have like 2 cards come out at a time and they'll be face down. It's like, I know those aren't my cards because they're not face up and there's more than one. That's just some cards that flew out of the deck because you're manipulating a whole stack of cards, right? Also, sometimes if you have like one card, Anthony was asking me this, you'll have one card just kind of come up and kind of poke out. For me, I don't pay any attention to that. Well, he said he felt like that was probably one of his cards. And I said, well, then it probably is. The way I read is not going to be the way you're going to read. It's just not.
We're all different.
You can hear all this different blah, blah, blah from different people. You're going to know what it is. Something else you might want to do is you can shuffle. Like, again, I love bridge shuffling. If you're going to just do a single card, and I've gotten a lot better at this, I don't do it a lot, but I will do it. You can bridge shuffle until it feels like you're done. And then you can sit it down, like I said, and I cut it once to the left, and then I cut it again. And then the first cut that's next to me goes on the top, and then that one goes on top of the one that was next to it. The bottom card is the overall energy. These top several cards are the spread. Doing it like this, I just cannot be the way I am. I cannot do more than 5 cards. Because I'm like, well, that's bullshit. It's just gibberish. It's nonsense. That's not a spread. And like, I hear you talking, and I hear you, and I get what you're doing. And again, this is just me. I could never just, and then put, well, whatever's behind it. And then whatever's behind it. It's like, because the way I am, that just doesn't work. That doesn't make sense, right? Now I have, though, at the bottom of the deck, why is this any different? I don't know. It just is. The bottom of the deck, the one that's behind it, I will read sometimes. And I've even
Same here.
gone further, but couple times, right? If it like was totally blaringly obvious, it doesn't mean that it was right. It might have just been a coincidence or whatever the hell that it was there. Not coincidence. I'm not going to say that. It was just there. It was just how the cards were in the deck. So, but if they fall out back up, what? If they fall out back up,
do you leave them out or put them back into shuffle? So if they fall with
yes, I put them back in. It's like they were, no, you don't get to play. You're not part of this hand.
Ooh,
spread.
snap.
You
There
go
you
back in. If you're supposed to be out, you come out right. Face up.
Isadora says, I usually read the cards face up. I had one card face down, very unusual. So sometimes it's and then Shelby says, I do the back shuffle, but I think it do okay. Shelby, sometimes you type too quickly, honey, and it doesn't
I do the
come out.
back shuffle, but I think it do it too neat because the cards can be so in line and won't come out. I do the same thing. If the card comes out, it'll come up. Yeah, I don't know, but everybody just does it different. Now I will do it like I was just showing you, like this. You come correct or not? Oh, that's right. I do it like this, and you'll have one come out. Like I said, I actually really like doing this with certain decks, but what I did for the longest, and I still do for the jumpers, yep, like my thumb, and you go like this, and you'll have, I was doing it too fast, and I'm not, this isn't how I usually hold my hands, but I want you to be able to see, and then of course nothing comes out. But you'll have a jumper, yep, and it'll just jump. That's my card, right? And I'm making sure something comes out right now, and I have no question in my head. So this is just nothingness, gibberish. But this is how, yeah, this is how I'll do it. So this feels comfortable. This feels real and natural for me. And there's many ways to get your cards. I used to see someone. No, I saw, who the heck did that? It'll come to me. Somebody would take their deck, and you could totally do this. And I've done it a couple times, just goofing around. If you have the space, like my giant table here, and you put the cards face down and you just stir them on the table. They're going to go upside down all around, right? For people that read their cards either directions, upright or not. And then when you're done, you pull them all together, and then you can decide, am I cutting the deck? Am I, like some people just take right off the top of the deck. I would never do that. It's like, you're just going to take the top card. It's like, to me, it's like, I would never do that. You got to cut the deck.
See, I don't cut my deck.
Everybody's different though, right? It's like, to me, it's like, how am I going to read that? I didn't even cut the deck. So again, that's me, right? It's got to feel right. Not cutting it would be like, oh, that's not my spread. I didn't even cut the deck, but again, that's me. So you'll know what is, especially, and I think part of this too, this is just me, is you have to, I think you should always, honestly, even if you don't do, and you should always put up your protections and do all that stuff. But you should always connect with whatever you're connecting with before you read. Or in my mind, your cards are gibberish.
There you go.
It's just gibberish. Doesn't mean a damn thing. So, but that's how I feel. And you can also take a deck that you have all these people that say, oh, when you get your deck and you sleep with it, or you put it on your nightstand and make sure you clear it and smudge it and blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I've done that with some of my, I haven't slept with any. Well, yeah, I might have in the beginning, actually. Yes, I did. I was all ready to say I've never done that. That's a lie. I did. What if you are connecting with nothing?
Because and he goes,
so anyways, and you take I would take my decks and I would clear them. I do smudge them usually with incense at the very least, just to remove anything that's on there that's yuck. There's been a couple decks where I put them on my altar. There's been a couple decks that I've done this and that with, but most of them I get them, I do clear them, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't make some big ass deal out of it.
But
I
for
think you can
some
make a
people,
big
like to
ass
sleep
deal
with
out of
them.
it if you.
For them, that's how they connect with the
Yeah,
cards. That's how they
absolutely.
spiritually.
I don't need that. I'm either going to connect with it or
Everybody
not.
does.
My guides are on board and digging the deck, or they're not. Or I like it, or I like the artwork, or oh God, this cardstock sucks. This is never going to happen. Sorry. I mean, it can be that simple too.
And
But yeah,
Shelby is right. It's like making chocolate chip cookies. The recipes can be different from someone else to the other. Exactly. That's how my mom was. She would put, not to get off on a tangent again, but like applesauce and things and certain puddings into baking cake. It's just everybody has their secret little recipes that they had to. And don't forget, you have another reading to do. Yes, Tom, I know we have another reading to do. We have one person that still wanted a reading. Let's see, Shelby says, I leave my cards down and let them cool off until next time. Sometimes I will put them near selenite. Selenite's good because it cleanses the energy, off the cards as well. You can have a spritz spray that you can use. You can use, a smudge.
I used to always sit a stone on my decks that I was using, and I don't know when it happened, but I stopped doing that. Like I always did that, and then I don't know when it happened, but I just stopped doing it.
And Amanda said, I dreamt I was washing the deck with water, so I know when to cleanse them. I will feel it. Very cool. I like that.
Yeah, I just run
Yes.
mine through incense.
It was a great talk, and thank you for the answers. You are welcome, my dear. And so before we get to our last reading, I sometimes throw crystals on them when they are sitting around. Sometimes I will leave them on the sill in the full moon. Very nice. See, I can
I
be
don't know why
moved.
you're doing that, Tom, though, because it doesn't do anything. What are you doing that for?
Putting them in the full moon to cleanse them. People believe in that. Girl, there's all different ways of being, connecting and
I'm
cleansing.
giving Tom a hard time, Heather. Come on.
No. I can see Tom going, you know. And hello, Michelle. How are you? Please give my best to Jonathan and to Rosie and oh, she goes Allie. So let's see. I put an amethyst.
Where is Tom again?
Tom is in
New Jersey?
Jersey.
As soon as I said it, I remembered because I have
That
superstitions that are ingrained in me that are cycles.
I'm trying to break. Yeah. So, all righty. Our last read, unless somebody asks for another, this will take us probably to
Who is this?
almost the hour. Her name is Kathy.
Kathy, is it Seguin? Seguin.
I think
Kathy Seguin.
Yes. And Kathy, I already have cards pulled. I was shuffling while Allyson was explaining how she shuffles her cards.
I'll pull hers.
Okay. So good to see you, Michelle. So Kathy, I pulled from the Sacred Feminine deck. Make a sacred space. So this is what is keeping you from expressing who you are. So what suggesting is creating, you need to maybe create here. Let me take this down. More sacred space, to make a sacred space. In this day, with everything, like with Allyson, she says she's got a small space. That's her altar on top of her dresser. Sometimes for me, it gets a little cluttered, but I try to keep my little space.
My altar is huge.
Or I just try to throw out on.
I was just gonna say it's very big. This is a huge quilt chest, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Ooh, yeah. Allison's got the antique, so but anyway, so I'm making a sacred space, whether it's someplace that you like to go to outside, or it's in your home, or even some people carry certain little personal ritual items that wherever they are, if they're in a spot where they can feel they're outside, they can lay things on the ground, and that's where they will create their sacred space. But for start expressing what's keeping you, start working on creating that sacred space for yourself. Um, Here, I'm just going to share what it says here. Empower yourself in some quiet reflection and ceremony. You are a sacred being, and the gift of your attention can create sacred space anywhere. Talks about common space, sitting in silence, communing with your ancestors, talking about an altar of special cloths, tokens, stones, gifts. Um, so, how whatever feels right for you, acknowledging the four directions. Um, so, yeah, it's basically wherever you feel at that time is a space that's quiet and private to you, but to start making more of a sacred space for yourself. When it comes to the tarot cards, your top card was Two of Swords. So again, these are decisions that need to be made. What is keeping you from expressing who you are? Um, the Two of Swords, you're typically they're crossed, but here it feels like okay, pathways, which way to go. How do I want to express myself? Sometimes they're considered a stalemate, but right now it's just you have options. The Two of Swords is also about thought and communication, so different ways of communicating with spirit. It's kind of like making a decision and kind of like sticking with it. The overall energy is the Seven of Pentacles, which is it just requires right now patience. Um, Usually it's one of the pentacles is on the ground that's being harvested. But I love how this card is that when we have that patience, everything, everything fully grows, and then we have that full, beautiful harvest. So that's the overall energy. Creating, having patience, taking what you have in that area and knowing that this is going to be suffice for you, that this is the seeds that you have planted are starting to grow, are coming to fruition. The other cards too. I know I've been saying a lot tonight, but it's just how I process my thoughts. Next to the Two of Swords, I also did get the Ace of Pentacles. So opportunities have been coming to you. But I think this indecision or trying to figure out which way to go and requiring the patience. Um, I have the Five of Cups. So I'm feeling like I don't know if there's something that was recent or in this current situation where there's grieving going on. And it says here what's keeping you from expressing who you are. So there is some sadness, there's grieving, depression, things that need to be um, released, removed. And I love that when you're able to do that, this is by creating that sacred space. When you create that sacred space, you are allowed to be able to grieve and express and work through what it is um, that's it feels like that is holding you back emotionally. Um, but keeping in mind that you do have that Seven of Pentacles, the patience, things are going to grow, they are going to come to fruition. Um, Again, Two of Swords, trying to decide, kind of being like in that stalemate, trying to figure out which way to go. But when you do, and you create that sacred space that opens up the pathways to make things more clear on what you want to do or how to move forward. And the swords too, thoughts, what kind of creative thoughts that you have, that can maybe that you can utilize, which one would be the better to start bringing forth so that you can express this of who you are. And when that all opens, you do get that beautiful Ace of Pentacles. Things will come to you, you will feel that security, that groundedness. Again, like with the Seven of Pentacles, everything that you have waited, you will start to fruition. It will come. It will grow. Um, but it takes that processing. But what is really important is making sure that you take that time to create that sacred space for you to allow for that process of those emotions, to clear your thoughts, and to have patience and welcome those new opportunities coming in. So that's you lost your husband recently. Oh, I'm so sorry, Kathy. Um, so that's the Five of Cups. So being sure to honor your grieving. I mean, everybody grieves differently. Have that patience. That Seven of Pentacles is patience, is allowing things to grow, and at their time, having the patience the for life to reblossom, waiting for things in your life to grow back. Um, but that too, that beautiful Ace of Pentacles, though, these opportunities are coming to you. You have the ability to manifest them, but creating that sacred space. I'm just going to keep going back to this card, creating that sacred space, and possibly, if you can, maybe with other women. I don't know if there's like a women's group or a grief group for widows who have lost their spouses. I don't know if that's something that you can be a part of, or even on a spiritual. Because if you see closely, there's a group of women coming together and sitting, creating that sacred space. And so, my condolences, Kathy. I'm so sorry, hon. But yeah, that's what I have. I'll give you over to Allyson. And Michelle says, I love your home, Allyson. It's so cozy. Yes, it is.
Sorry, I was in my own world.
So we're reading for Kathy. She just lost her husband.
Kathy, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Well, that doesn't have anything to do with this reading. But I'm really sorry to hear that. Yeah. So the question is, what is keeping you from expressing who you are? So that's a question, and I realized this with Tom's. I mean, I thought about the question, but hadn't really sat with it. That's a lifelong thing, right? What is keeping you from expressing who you are, right? None of us are kids here, right? So if there's something we're not expressing, this is something we've been carrying. This is a, you know what I mean? So again, like with Tom's, so bizarre. I had 2 cards come out. 2. Okay. So, and what I got from this is there's something that, and I don't know how long you've had this. And if you don't know what this is right away, please sit with it and think about it and whatever. Sometimes this comes later, or maybe you'll know right away. I have no idea. So there's something that you have formulated in your mind as an idea of something to do, create a plan of action, whatever, at some point, whenever this took place. And you've always just kind of thought about it. Now, how often or when, I have no idea. Maybe a certain time of the year you'll think of it, because unconsciously we do that with dates on the calendar and whatever, good, bad, and the ugly, right? Or maybe you think about it all the time, or maybe it's just once in a while, or I have no idea. But that's what this is. It says, what is keeping you from expressing who you are? So that doesn't mean like that's who you are. It's just some aspect of us, right? Like something that we're not doing. We're repressing it, right? If we're not expressing something that is who we are, we're repressing it, whether it's conscious or not. So again, it's something that you have already designed or thought of or created in some sort of way and have never taken action on it. So I have 2 of Wands, 4 of Swords, which is like a reprievement, right? Sitting back, thinking about it, just, that kind of thing. There's some sort of confusion or too many decisions to be made, or it's overwhelming or whatever, or for some reason it's just not the right time or whatever. 7 of Cups is the overall energy. So, and actually, I'll say that in a minute. So from the Oracle deck, I pulled Nut, some people say nut, but I've looked up all these Egyptian terms and it's nut. Understanding. This card is about knowing that you're supported. So if you want to do whatever this is, assuming that you know or you figure it out later or whatever, again, I don't know how much of a thing this is. I mean, this could even be a dream from childhood or a desire or something you just never really did it because of what I just said. Or maybe you know exactly what it is. The universe is behind you. I cut the deck. I got Osiris, which is death and rebirth, which is, again, it's a new beginning, right? And then, just because I did it for the other reading that we did tonight, I did pull from the Roast Iconic deck. And the card that I got, at first I was like, what? And then I started thinking about it. And hopefully you're not easily upset. This card, this deck is pretty intense. So anyways, I got the Get Fucked card. And what this means is for somebody to go away, get lost, don't want it, the way that this is tying into this, and it doesn't mean that it is, if this thing that you didn't do, and maybe this goes way, way, way back, somebody was not in support of this. And that might be part of the reason that you either doubted or never did it or da 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 da, like you weren't going to get the approval or nobody, somebody wasn't going to understand, or some buddies, maybe your parents, if you go way back, I don't know. But there was somebody that was in your peripheral or in your environment that was not going to be supportive of whatever this is. And that might have been just enough for you to never do it. Because you weren't going to feel supported. That's what that Get Fucked card means. It's not literal. It's, again, it's a sarcastic deck.
Yeah, she laughed at that.
That's what that means. That's what that means.
Especially
so it's like lack of support. And again, the universe is supporting you and saying you can do this thing, whatever this is. And again, I'm sorry about your husband. That's horrible.
30 years together, they were married.
Oh, what a blessing. Oh my God. I cut the deck, I got one more card, and then I got Death and Rebirth, which is quite literal. You are going through a rebirth because now you are, you're it's just you that's here now on the earth plane, right? Yes, he's around you, of course. Anyways, again, that's not what this is about. This reading is what is keeping you from expressing who you are. That's what I got.
You got the Two of Swords, you said, right?
No.
Oh, I thought you said the Two of Swords. Okay. I was just double checking because that was one of the cards I got. But
I was talking about her planning and some all that. It's Two of Wands.
Okay. Wands. Okay. So yeah, everybody's showing Kathy and Amanda lost her stepfather, I believe she said. I'm sorry, Amanda. We lost my stepdad, and my mom still struggles every day. Her grandbabies are her light. That's beautiful. Yeah, I don't look forward to the day where, I have to say my goodbyes, unless I'm the first to cross over. But I can't imagine, Kathy. My love to you, and to you, Amanda. Just thank you, Liz. You're welcome. So we only had 2 requests for readings, unless I could go a little bit longer, because I just renewed about a week and a half ago my hours. So if there was anybody else who would like a reading with Allyson, I have time for one more. Is your time okay, Allyson? If someone were to request one more, okay. So if anybody wanted, we have time for one more, and it's what is keeping you from expressing who you are, and give it a few moments. And just want to thank everybody again for joining Allyson this evening. Taking this girl gets up early. She's a school bus driver.
I do. So I get up at 5.
Oh boy, there was a time when I
Unless
used
I
to
wake
get.
up earlier, which sometimes I usually wake up. So funny. I usually wake up about, well, when I stay at Anthony's, I get up at 4 because he gets up at 4. Um, but I usually wake up when I'm home. I wake up just a couple minutes before my alarm. Always, always, always. My alarm is set for 5:10, but I usually wake up right at 5.
Okay, and so we had a lurker who came forward and said that they would like a reading. This is somebody who's new to my channel. I hopefully I'm pronouncing your name correctly, Valaka. So Valaka would like
Are
one.
we doing the question or are we doing something different?
No, we're just going to keep to the question. What is keeping
Okay.
you from expressing who you are? And then this will be our last reading for the evening.
Okay.
It is pronounced Valeka. Oh, that's beautiful. I love that. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead while Allison's still shuffling. I love that. Valeka. That's beautiful. So, Valeka, what I pulled for you was keeping you from expressing who you are. I got the reuse something card. And this card represents um, taking a look at how much so I'm trying to figure out how to back this up. We have become very much a society of everything we see we got to buy, and the next best thing here, you got to buy this. So we become a society where we purchase so much. We're constantly wanting to acquire material things, um, getting bored, or things that they get thrown at. So it's really kind of a card about over commercialization, consumerism. There we go, over consumerism. And right, this card is recommending is that start looking around your home for things that you already have that you can use, that you can recycle or upcycle, and to instead of going and purchasing more, or being influenced to purchase something that we really don't need. Just be very mindful for that. And it says here, it is a time to remember the wisdom of your ancestors and look at your wasteful habits. We all have that when it comes to wasting food, wasting utilities, any sort of waste. Your ancestors wasted nothing and used every part of the animal for food, clothing, and tools. Your grandparents were also thrifty and made use of every jar and every piece of cloth, wire, and thread. They understood that Mother Earth could provide for all their needs. So, again, this is about watching how much we consume, how much we waste, and learning to start seeing we can recycle and reuse things that we already own to be able to help heal our Mother Earth, ourselves. Allyson is a proponent of decluttering, of living a minimalist, and she's taught me a lot as well. And how when we have too much stuff, that can accumulate and can cut into our energy and affect us on all levels, emotionally, physically, mentally, even spiritually. So just really consider being cautious about being wasteful, and being mindful of that. When it comes to your tarot cards, so it's what's keeping you from expressing who you are might be that there is so much that you're out there trying to find to express how you're. Well, maybe if I have the latest clothes or the latest shoes, the latest watch, or this latest tool, that will make that kind of maybe tries to fill a hole, um, and fill that void that, and then, well, maybe if I have this, I'll find a way of expressing myself. This is where we all have to really start going within ourselves and finding that sense of security, that sense of self-worth. So with the tarot, I did get the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords is about being very. She's about can be very blunt, but she's also about communication. She's nurturing, but she's kind of like a tough love. She is very much in touch with her thoughts, communication, and sometimes she can be a little too blunt. But again, that tough love. So maybe this could very well be Mother Nature kind of speaking to your spirit, saying, okay, can we talk? We got to be blunt here. And so the next card I got for you is the Two of Wands. And the Two of Wands is about planning, strategizing, seeing what is it, what really, what trying to delve in and find out what it is that we feel would express us the best. Kind of like sitting down, again, the Queen of also Swords, communication. Communicate with your higher self, communicate with you, with yourself, your intuition. Start maybe jotting down, writing, planning. What can I do? What do I have that's already at my fingertips? What can I create out of this that will allow me to discover what really makes me happy and allows me to release, to be able to express myself. And the overall energy, the Seven of Pentacles came up again. And that is all about having patience. It's about, having those seeds planted and nurturing them, that we're watering them. Again, like with the first card, taking what we already have, setting things around us, and connecting and communicating with ourselves, our higher self, our higher power, our guides, and saying, okay, how can I take what I already have and start creating something that's bountiful, something that I can harvest, that I can say, this is really expresses who I am. And I don't know if maybe something that you have thought about, this came to my mind, may not relate at all, but I don't know if you're part of the community where you support your local community. I'm, just outside of Buffalo, and there's several places that have recycling, where people can drop off sinks that are still good condition, toilets, fixings, all sorts of things. Instead of going out and buying, people can go and donate or buy for a few bucks and take in refurbishing, upcycling. I don't know if that's something that you maybe want to create in your community. Maybe that's something that you're very passionate about. And that way, maybe if you got behind this, maybe this is something that can help express who you are and wanting to help the your community, help the earth, um, because we've just been seeing so many images lately of all the disgusting dump sites and waste created by companies like Sheen, Timu, even Amazon. There's so many different of these places where the clothing, whatever doesn't get sold just gets trashed. It doesn't get donated to homeless shelters or women's shelters for domestic violence or for, any sort of community. So I don't know if this is something for the community that you might consider wanting to help work with, but that's what I have for you. Allyson will be right back. So Please let us know, Valeka, if any of that resonates with you. It's much appreciated, and I'll give you over to Allyson.
You said it's Valeka.
That's how you pronounce her name.
Okay. Hi, Valeka. Looking at my cards, I don't think you have anything keeping you from expressing who you are. I don't see that as being any sort of an issue.
Okay. She
I
hasn't
don't see
said
that at
anything, so
all. I don't. You look like you actually, strangely enough, I got a couple of the same cards, which almost never happens, for my last spread, but the other cards are very different. So it's not the same message at all, but a couple of the same cards made an appearance. But there's something here that you might keep to yourself that you'd like to do. But I don't think that's from lack of expression. I think you just don't necessarily want to divulge it. It's something that you feel like you could do. It might even be something you've already started working on. I don't know. But it looks like I'm wondering if you're a mom. You took her picture down. She looked awfully young. I don't know if
Here.
you're a mom or if there
Here you
is
go.
a mother involved, but there's something here that's connected but separate, that maybe there is some degree of keeping you from express something, but maybe it's just something you keep away from her. Like everybody else knows about it, but maybe you just don't show it to her. Or you have kids and you're not able to quite do this thing right now because you're a mom to young children or something like that, or maybe not so young. I would think so, though. I don't know. Again, this could go a couple different ways, but again, I don't see any sense of not expressing who you are, unless possibly it's like I said, from a parent or that sort of thing, or maybe having to keep certain things under wraps while, if you are a mom, maybe it's while your kids are young. I don't know, but I'm not really, it's interesting. I'm not really seeing what we were pulling on. And then from the Oracle deck, I got righteousness. So this is you with your confidence and ability to do what you're doing and moving forward with it. And then from the Rose Iconic, I pulled the unicorn. And the unicorn is, your worth. It's the same reading all over again with all of these cards and the spreads. And again, like I said, there is something here about motherhood. So this is either your mother or you being a mother, and there could be some aspect of maybe having to kind of tamper things around that a little bit. But that's what I got. Again, I don't see any issue with you expressing anything, which is actually kind of neat that that's what I see on the cards. But anyways, that's what I got.
She says she is a mom.
You are a mom. Okay.
So did any of this resonate with you? Feel like it would be we would really appreciate if you can let us know if the readings made sense to you. Thank you for letting us read for you. Thank you
Yeah,
everybody
thank
for
you.
letting Allyson and I read, and we appreciate everyone hanging out with us on their Friday night. Something that I thought of while you were reading. You and I are going to be with Bobby next week. I believe it's Tuesday. I do not have my
Yep.
calendar in front of me, but
Actually, it's Monday. I think it's
oh,
Monday.
is it Monday?
Hold on, let me look at my calendar.
Because I have Nancy.
No, it's hold on.
I think it's Tuesday evening. It was, I think, at 5 or 6 o'clock.
Yeah, it's Tuesday the 25th.
That's what I thought. And then Allison's going to be a guest on Bobby's channel for her in the cards. I'm looking forward to that. That's
story in the cards. It's like
he asks what Bobby does is he asks you
March
about
6th?
your
I don't remember. It's on my calendar, but it's a page.
He does have it on his channel. So Bobby's live right now with Kristen Louise. And so he's got that all up there. So totally looking forward to that this Monday. I don't have anything planned, I don't think, this weekend. But then I have Nancy and Alexis on Monday for the Divine Feminine. We're talking about gratitude. And then Tuesday, Allison and I will be on with Bobby. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then Allison and I will be back again on next Friday with actually Kristen Louise, who's on right now with Bobby. So um, it's going to be a great week next week as we're wrapping up February already. Um, I usually ask you if you've got anything planned, but any fun plans for the weekend? Not necessarily channel, but on the weekend. You're welcome, Valeka. Thank you.
We're meeting with a tattoo artist tomorrow. Anthony's getting I got him a big old gift certificate for Christmas.
Pulling your cat balls.
So yeah. And what else are we doing? No, just going to Sam's Club and stuff like that. Nothing
That's very
specific.
cool.
We might go out to dinner Saturday, tomorrow night, but that's about
And
it.
Michelle says, whenever I think of unicorns, I think of self-care. Maybe get together with your besties, get your hair and nails done. That sounds a lot like fun. I know I need a hair or something. But yeah, thank you again, everybody, for joining Allison and I. And we will see you next Friday and this Tuesday over on Bobby Fierro Tarot's channel. So everybody have a great rest of your night. Have a safe and fun weekend. And we'll see you next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.